Yes, welcome back to V8 Creative and part 6 of the Morgan three-wheeler build, and on this episode we focus on brakes. Yes, welcome back to the Dean Den and another episode of spannering on the Morgan three-wheeler. And this episode, we're actually starting to put it back together. Yes. So what we're focusing on is the front braking system. Oh yes, the anchors. Now, my father did an upgrade on this car, which a lot of Morgan three-wheeler owners do, and that is to put in a hydraulic braking system on the front. Yes, hydraulics. And as explained in a previous episode, the donor car was a Morris Minor. Yeah, Morris Minor. And they're not discs on the front, no, they're drums, but significantly better than the cable operated previous versions that came with the car, and an optional extra, if you could believe that. So what we're going to do first is go over to the assembly bench and we're going to run through all the components and the tasks at hand. So here we are at the assembly bench, and in front of me are all the components to build the front hubs and the brake drums. So what you see here is this side's driver's side, this side's passenger side, and here are the two main hub and brake bell assemblies. Now in front of them we have the back plates. Now what I've done with these back plates is completely disassembled them, as you saw in the previous video, and then what I've done is media blasted them, undercoat, top coat, to make them like new. Now ahead of them here we have the brake shoes. Now the brake shoes, I could probably reuse these, to be honest, because they look in pretty good nick and there is no scoring on the inside of the drums. But Morris Minor brake shoes are pretty easy things to get on eBay, and sure enough I've got 4 new shoes here ready to go on. Now what I would say, there is one slight modification I have to do to one of these, and that is on the driver's side. I'll show you a close-up of this, but there is a small half moon cut out the back of one of the shoes, and the reason for this is because of this component here. Now this component is the mechanical speedo drive. And what it does is this goes through the back plate, and then this small gear engages with a gear within the driver's side hub, and then the cable which plugs into the back here rotates and drives the speedo. Nice and simple. So this needs cleaning up. before I assemble it, but I'll do that in a minute. Next here, I have the shoe adjusters. Now these I've managed to clean up. They're in good nick. They need lubricating before they put back in, but these allow the shoes to be adjusted so in their sort of neutral position, they are just making contact with the drums. And I'll show you how to do that once the whole setup is on the car. Next, we have spacers, large nuts, and then the springs that hold the shoes tight. Those are difficult to put on, but we'll have a go at that in a minute. Now, on the side here, you'll see there's 4 of these little components. Now, these are the hydraulic cylinders which actually push the shoes out onto the drum. Now, these little beauties, I really don't know the condition of these. If they leak, if they've got congealed brake fluid in them. So the best thing is just to replace with brand new. And sure enough, you can still buy them, Quinton Hazel, and these are lovely little hydraulic cylinders. I've got 4, there's 2 right hand, 2 left hand, and we're going to be using these when we assemble the back plates. Now, while I was at this, what I decided to do is also replace all the fasteners with brand new nuts, washers, bolts, and also spring washers where appropriate. So everything is, how should I put it, just done properly. Let's start spannering. And now we're assembling the brakes. Right, what I'm going to do here, this is the driver's side. And what we've got here is, as I've said, we've got the back plate, the shoes, new fasteners, the slave cylinders, adjusters, springs, and over here out of shot is the hub. But we're going to assemble this first. So I'm going to get this lot out the way. So we don't need that yet. And the first thing we're going to do is pop on these hydraulic cylinders. Very simple. They just pop in the back plate like this, and if you can see, they're opposing. So if I pop this upside down,
take it slow, we are talking loud. If you listen close, you can kiss the sky away with your cell phones.
Here we go. There we are.
Friday night and I dyed your hair and I messed it up, but you didn't care. How did you?
Perfect. There we are. That was easy. Right, now they're in place. What we've got is we've got the 2 shoes, and this one goes at the top because remember I've taken that recess out because that is where the speedo drive goes. So these 2 babies fit like that. So there's a slot in the back of the master cylinder which locates with that, and then here this is where we put the adjusters.
Falling for you. See your face next to mine and I'm feeling safe when I curl up next to you. Skin to skin isn't complicated. In my head I go round in circles. Oh, I hate it. Drifting round in blue days, but we knew it. Wait for the days we got time. Gave it time.
Pop them together, put it at its bottom setting. Now, when you've got grease on your hands, the last thing you want to do is touch the friction material, so you've just got to be careful. There we go. And then this goes like that. So there you go. Now for the difficult bit. Right, I'm going to change my gloves now so I don't get grease everywhere. Okay, now these springs, they go in this hole here and then go in this second hole here, and the same across the other way. Now the challenge is there's no way I'm going to stretch that with my hands. So there's a little knack in doing it. Now, I'm used to AP racing brakes, large disc brakes, so I hope this is going to go fairly smoothly. Now, the way I've seen it done, let's see if this works, is you actually take the shoe off. There you go, that's one side done. If this works, I'll be amazed. And then that's the other side. Oh no, it's fallen off. And then push this out to put it in that slot, which is easier said than done. But right, I'm gonna need something, a screwdriver, to lever that out. There you go. There we have it, all assembled, and the hand's not too mucky. Now I'm going to show you how these adjust. They're pretty ingenious actually. So here's the adjuster. Now look at the outside of that shoe as I rotate this. As I'm going round, this is moving outwards. It's on a cam. Now the reason you do that is when you put it on the drum, in its static position, what you do is you rotate these until it's just scuffing on the outside. And I'll show you how I do that in a minute. Right, now what we've got to do now is put in the speedo drive. Okay, what you're seeing here are some of the components that make up the speedo drive. Now, what I need to do is I need to position this brass body in the back plate at just the right distance so this cog, this gear, meshes perfectly with the gear inside the hub. Now, I'm going to do some measurements first, so I'll just put this to one side. So now I have this measurement here. What I need to do now is screw this into the back plate, and then what we can do is understand how deep this has to be into the hub. So let me just pop this nut on, because we're going to need that to secure it. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a couple of things I can do while this is still here. So this is the bottom. So this is the back. This faces towards the back. And at the back, at the top slave cylinder, goes the bleed nipple, which is supplied with the slave cylinders. So I'll just nip this up. There you go. And put on a nice little red bung so it doesn't get any contaminants. And then what we have is we have this solid brake line. Now I've got to figure out how this goes. That goes from there to there, like so. And it's far easier to put that on now than it is when this is on the car. So I remember that when I was getting them off. Okay, so that goes there and there. And then with these, it's always best to do them with your fingers first. There we go. Right, so now we're ready to put hubs on the car. So on it goes, and it goes through the steering arm. Now, before I finish the car, I'm going to torque these up to the correct torque and also put some thread lock on them. But for now, let's just pull them up. Super. So the next thing we need to do is adjust the shoes so they're just rubbing on the inside of the drum. And the reason you do that is you don't want a lot of free play in your brake pedal. Now, to do this, we have to get to the adjusters, and you'll probably think, how do we do that? They're inside, but there's a hole here. And what you do is you rotate, line it up, and then you can click out 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's probably okay actually. So let's do the other one, 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, that's 4. Maybe one more. No, that's too much. You can feel it. So I'll just click that back. And when they're bedded in, we can adjust them again if need be, but that's good enough for now. So there we are. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around the front and put on the flexies. So to connect these assemblies to the chassis using the flexi, a bracket is required. Now this bracket sits here and this bolts into it. Now it's been fabricated by my father, of course, and he's used, I'll show you, like a U bolt, and that goes under there like so. This goes on top, like that. There we go. And then we have this flexi that goes like this. And we'll just pop on a washer and a nut. Now that's not going to move. Right, so now I've got to replace all the bracketry, and what that does is that puts the steering column in situ and also provides a mounting plate for the master cylinder. one's okay for the top bolt. Let me just get something longer for the bottom. Just pop this on the back. Okay. On with the master cylinder. Sorry if my hands are in the way. I've got to put them round this way because the cylinder's in the way of me getting the bolts in, or the top bolt at least, so I want them both the same, so hence this way round. Master cylinder in situ. Super.
Take it slow, we are talking loud. If you listen close, you can kiss the sky away with your cell phones. Friday night and I dyed your hair and I messed it up, but you didn't care, or did you? Drifting round in blue days, well we knew it. Wait for the days we got time, gave it time. Now I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling.
Yes, and another episode draws to a close, and boy, this car is coming together. Yes, the front braking system now is fully installed, and the focus for next week will be on the rear of the car. What we're looking at is the swinging arms, the rear brake, the rear chain drive. Yep, remember that, this car is driven by a chain. So until next time, as I always say, keep smiling and enjoy your spannering.
Drifting round in blue days, well we knew it. Wait for the days we got time, gave it time.